Welcome to the Late Break Podcast. I'm Alex.
And I'm Tony.
And we're going to talk about cars.
Basically.
Yeah.
Cars and,
things. Yeah, car stuff in general. We're both car nerds.
Yep.
And so that's what we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
I know the Sebring races. There's two of them, WEC and IMSA, right?
Yep.
Both the same weekend. Kind of the first time they did that thing.
Yeah, the first time they did it in, 10 or so years, I think it was.
Okay.
They've done it before, but they brought it back.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, it was a good time.
And you were down there for it?
I was down there for both.
That's awesome.
Yep. Yeah, the WEC race was on Friday.
Okay.
It's, was it Sebring 1,000 miles or 1,000 miles of Sebring?
They didn't actually run 1,000 miles, though, if I remember correctly.
No, they run from, what was it?
It was like an 8-hour race, wasn't it?
4 to 11.
Okay.
4 to 10. Something like that.
6 hours? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but it's...
Yeah, because I saw they got like 860 miles in or something like that. But
yeah.
Either way, that's...
Yeah, because it's almost a 4-mile track.
Yeah.
It's like 3.7, I think, something like that. So...
Was that your first time seeing like the Le Mans cars racing? The
WEC cars.
WEC, yeah.
Yep. So the LMP1s, and then you have the LMGT class.
Ah, yes.
So, which are obviously way more hyped up
Yeah.
than the LMP2, the DPIs, and the GTDs and whatnot. So, yeah. Huge difference. It was
Tons
nuts.
of speed.
Oh, it was insane. Obviously, Toyota. I'm a huge rooter for Toyota.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't know if you remember playing Gran Turismo or not, but they had the GT1.
That's right. Yeah. Which they actually made a street car of. They made like one or two of them.
Yeah, kind of like the Ferrari FXX.
Yeah.
They had like their version of it.
Yeah.
So that was cool to see their actual LMP1 Toyota there.
Yeah.
And
driven by Alonso.
And a whole bunch of Japanese guys.
Yeah.
And
makes sense.
they slaughtered the competition.
Because what? It has like 1,100 horsepower?
Yeah.
1,000 horsepower, something like that? Yeah.
Yeah. We were marking laps. And after, I think we watched, I will say after the first 10 laps, there was 1 minute and 20 seconds between second place Toyota and the third place LMP1 car.
Oh my God. So they were just crushing.
1 minute and 20. And their fastest lap was a 1:40. So they were 20 seconds behind third place.
Jesus. Did Toyota set a lap record there?
They did, yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, by 4.5 seconds.
Wow.
They shattered it.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah. The Toyotas were the only ones running hybrid.
It's a shame that Porsche pulled the 919 hybrid out of commission.
Yeah, it's sad.
Because if they had that Evo version that was crushing lap records everywhere,
it would have been amazing.
Yeah.
It would have been a fight for sure. Toyota would have had someone to actually fight with.
Yeah, it's a shame. Like all these racing series, they kind of reach this ultimate evolution where suddenly it's so expensive to run that, you know, even big teams with huge factory support like Porsche will just kind of drop off and say, all right, well, we've done what we're here to do. We've maxed out what our car is capable of, and there's nowhere else to go, so we're going to pack up and leave.
Oh, yeah.
And then I think now Porsche is going to start fielding a Formula E car this year, which is, it's cool.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway, it's a shame. I mean, the 919 Evo went out on top, I guess, in terms of they built it
performance to break things. Yeah,
exactly. Set a bunch of lap records, beat Lewis Hamilton's F1 car around Spa, that kind of thing. But anyway, so Toyota dominated.
Yeah, Toyota dominated. It was great to watch them. Super fun. Just watching them go around the track, taking obviously Sebring's known for the bumps.
Yep.
That's what it's known for. And their chassis just floated across the bumps. Everybody else you could just see the tweaks and the angle of flexing and everything.
Well, I think they were out there a few weeks early doing lots of testing,
they've been out there for a month at least, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes all the difference.
Yeah. They had it nailed down, for sure.
Because that track really is kind of special in terms of, like the bumps and just...
The bumps is just it. It's
Yeah. Because it's on an old runway.
Yeah.
It's been on an old runway since the 50s or whatever.
Yep. Yeah, the last turn coming down the back straight is just there's about a 4-inch drop that you can see from where the straight goes into the corner.
Okay.
And you see the cars just drop off of it.
Yeah,
and
I saw
that's
a
when
bunch
the
of-
bodies just bounce.
I saw pictures of just all the GT cars, especially like lifting a wheel going through the corner.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
They just bounce around there. So that was fun.
Yeah,
That was fun. Some people we were with were rooting for Mazda.
Okay.
And they just had a shitstorm of trouble.
You know, it seems like they always have all this great prep ahead of time, and they look really promising, and then they just shit the bed once they get there, and that's a shame because I love Mazda as a brand, as a company.
Exactly. You'd like to see them do good.
Yeah.
But they were running the
least be
wrong
competitive.
tires in the rain at one point where they just slid off the track. One of their cars caught fire. They hit each other. So
To finish first you must finish.
that's true.
And
Yeah,
that's
they
really
didn't even
not
they
done
didn't
well for
even
them.
finish.
Yeah.
So
That's too bad.
I'm trying to remember who picked up the LMGT class or GTLM. I guess it depends on people say it both
GTLM.
ways, but I
Was
can't
it?
remember who picked that up.
Was it Porsche?
I think it was. That's what it was. It was Porsche, Ford, and Chevrolet.
Okay. Huh.
No, that was the
Or was that
that was the
Sebring? Or that was
Sebring
the-
12-hour.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I remember.
who-
Yeah, I remember seeing something about a Porsche.
I know that BMW was supposed to pick up the top of both races.
Okay.
They were rooted for.
Okay.
Porsche was actually kind of an underdog, from what I remember. Ford's always an underdog. Corvette people, they just hope that their car wins. When I'm glad to see it not, because I think it's a great car, but I'm not a Corvette fan.
Okay, that's fair.
But
But yeah, it must have been cool to see both of those races back to back because I mean you see such a wide breadth of cars.
yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, the WEC race was way cooler than the Sebring 12-hour.
Interesting. Why's that?
The cars are faster,
Okay.
and you can tell they're more serious. It's just a serious race. Like the drivers are more serious. It seems like everything is more of an event than just we're out here for 12 hours and we're gonna do this thing.
Yeah, 12 hours.
It's like a different. It's like a different mindset in their head or something.
12 hours of Sebring has always kind of been like a redneck race in a sense. Like it's always been kind of scrapped together. But I suppose WEC comes in has a certain air of
And you could tell there was higher end motorhomes around.
Okay.
Like there was more money around just in general
Sure.
than there ever is.
That makes sense.
So that was kind of nice.
I wonder how the pit situation worked.
So
Because that's a lot of stuff to set up, especially for two different series.
So what they did was they moved the GTD cars,
Okay.
and they moved the GTD cars and the WeatherTech Challenge cars to another spot because there's a WeatherTech Challenge race on Thursday.
Okay.
So or Thursday or Friday? Friday during the day, I think, is when they run a WeatherTech Challenge. So they moved that to a completely different location, put all those cars over there. They had all the LMP2 DPI, the Sirius Sebring 12 in the normal spot. And then on the other side of the back straight, they pushed the wall over, and that's where they put the WEC cars.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Huh.
Yep. So they pit on the back straight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Which was nuts because there was a Toyota that came out of the pits when one of the RSRs went by.
Yeah.
And before the corner, the Toyota was already passing him out of the pits.
Yeah.
Like, it was blisteringly fast. And the Porsche is coming down the back straight, full out, and here's this Toyota that's just like, whoop,
Wow.
right up next to it.
So does pit exit basically exit into that
like
last
3
corner
quarters
onto
down.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yep.
Nice.
So that was pretty exciting. It's just all around. The Sebring 12, I think, is more fun at night because all the cars get lit up, especially the GTD cars and like the GT. Yeah.
Well, it's fun too because you get to see the place marker lights on the side. Mm-hmm. You know, the three little dots, and then the numbers light up, and the
that was actually what was different than the WEC versus the base LMP2 DPIs. Is the WEC cars had the dots.
Oh, okay.
All the other cars actually have your position.
Oh, okay.
So even if you're in 12th
that's right. They've got
place,
the number
they do the
kinda,
number.
Yeah, okay.
Rather than, you're first, second, or third, or you don't matter.
Yeah.
It's basically what
That's
comes
how it
down
used
to.
to be. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Nice.
So that was fun.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of neon, a lot of wild parties, a lot of people acting crazy.
That's fun.
So,
What was the best Like, what was the weirdest thing you saw there? What was the... You were telling me earlier, what was the area
well,
where,
the
like, all the
strangest...
partying is?
Green Park.
Green Park, okay.
So the strangest thing that we noticed this year is truck parades.
Truck parades, okay.
Truck parades, or brodozers,
Yeah.
if you will.
Yep.
These guys, their trucks are lifted about 4 feet. They have the big wheels, skinny little tires, all their suspensions painted, and it's just neon lights, and they bump heavy rap music. And they just drive around like everyone cares about their trucks more than the cars going by.
Yeah.
So that was probably the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you're at a race. Why would you do that?
Well, if you have a lifted truck, I mean, if you can park it close enough to the track that you can see and it's lifted enough, you just sit in the bed.
I mean,
That's
could.
a good place to watch the race.
You could, but there's nowhere to park because it's all full of motorhomes now.
Yeah. But you can, like, drive over people's tents and stuff.
Yeah. I suppose.
Or over people.
Yeah.
Drive anywhere you want.
I think for the most part, these guys, it's just an excuse to bring their truck somewhere. Mm-hmm. They buy the ticket. They know that it's packed. They're going to party and drive their truck around. And they don't care that there's fancy cars going around the track.
Good deal.
So, one of the guys that was at Maury's, the Mazda driver, Aaron
Thielitz.
He races for Lexus now.
Oh, interesting.
He was racing the Lexus at the Sebring 12 this year.
Oh, that's cool.
So that was cool.
The, what is it, an RC?
Yep.
Okay, that's cool.
Yep. And they hit each other. I don't know if he was driving when they hit each other, but one of them rear-ended the other car and ripped the front end off, ripped the back end off.
Ooh.
Yeah, a little rough.
Yeah. He got started racing, like, Mazda, Formula Mazda and Indy Lights and that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. I guess Mazda had he got into racing, I think, through a Mazda, like, feeder series where it's some sort of competition type thing where, you know, you start racing and then you race for a season with Mazda. They provide all the support, the cars, everything. And at the end of that, whoever wins gets $1 million from Mazda to put towards their racing career.
That's impressive.
Yeah. I don't know. I think he won or maybe got his start in that and then used that to pivot to something else.
Wow.
But
that's impressive.
Yeah. You got to be pretty good
nice.
to beat a bunch of other thirsty
If
rookies.
you're going to win $1 million, you better be good.
Although I feel like $1 million doesn't get you very far in racing these days.
It'll get you on a team.
That's probably true.
The team has the rest of the money.
Yeah.
So,
you just kind of show up on the first day of the season, hand the team principal just a bag full of cash.
If you're not on the team for a good reason, then at least you can maybe buy your way on.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So, but yeah, let's see what else happened. So the Sebring 12 Cadillac took first, second, third of the LMP2
so dominant.
The DPI, I think, are the DPIs. But they've been
running
that category.
With Daytona the last couple of years, and then they ran away with Sebring last year.
Yeah, that's what it was, because the Cadillac are DPI cars.
Yep.
Because the DPI is the highest level of the IMSA, and then you have the LMP2. But there's only 2 LMP2 cars running this year.
Okay.
And they didn't do
Isn't
good
that like
at all.
the Jackie Chan racing or whatever, or was that in WEC? I get those two series mixed up a little bit. Because I think Jackie Chan's got an LMP2, 2 LMP2 cars.
It would have to be.
So
it would have to be in the IMSA.
WEC.
Yeah. Because WEC was LMP1.
Okay. Yeah. Might have been the 2 Jackie Chan cars. I forget.
Was there LMP2? No, because there's just 3 different other classes. So there's only 3 classes in the WEC, and there's 4 classes in the IMSA.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Anything else? Any other good sights and sounds, or anything else interesting? At the
quietest car was the 488 Evo.
That was the quietest car.
That was the quietest car.
Okay.
Those were dead quiet.
Interesting.
You could barely hear them going around the track. Next up would be the BMW M8s.
Okay. Those massive boats of race cars.
Let's see, the M8s were in the WEC, and the M6 was still running in the IMSA.
Okay.
So they haven't up to the M8 yet.
Okay.
So they're M6, but twin turbo V8, super quiet.
Huh. Because they used to run. I remember. I haven't been to Sebring since 2011, I think, but that was when Audi was really dominant with the R15s.
Okay.
And those cars, the turbo diesels, were so quiet.
Yeah,
you
they're
barely
super
hear
quiet.
them.
Yeah, that's kind of how it is with the Ferrari.
Interesting.
Loudest car is the 911 RSR.
Really? Okay.
Hands down, will make your ears bleed.
Awesome.
Ridiculous. It was almost.
As it should.
It was almost to the point this year where it was too loud.
Okay. Because I thought the Cadillac...
It was annoying.
I thought the Cadillac DPI cars were supposed to be pretty loud.
If you ran a Cadillac next to the Porsche, you wouldn't hear the Cadillac.
Really? Wow.
Because the Cadillacs are just insanely loud.
Yeah.
But you can't.
Between the two of them, you'd go deaf.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And yeah, as soon as you were above the barrier,
Yeah.
you had to have earplugs in.
Wow, okay.
We never wore earplugs before.
Yeah.
And this year we were wearing them for sure.
Okay.
So that was one thing that was pretty interesting, was the sound.
Yeah.
The sound of the Toyotas was cool because it's a hybrid.
Oh, sure,
so you
yeah,
can hear that sound difference between electric, all that stuff working, versus just engine.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
I hate to go back to the 919 Evo again. I mean, I don't, because I think that car's awesome.
Yeah.
But did you see the video where Chris Harris drove it recently for Top Gear?
I heard about it. I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, it's cool.
I haven't watched it
Yeah.
yet.
Apparently, like, the car just has so many computers and stuff. I mean, you just focus on gas, brake, turn, and you can just chuck it into corners, and between the aero and all the computers, it'll dial in the boost just right, and the hybrid
So
thing.
doesn't that seem kind of unfair? Doesn't that take the idea of racing out?
No, because, I mean, you're still definitely racing. Yeah,
but
you just have a more capable machine to help
Back
you.
in the day, you had a car that would kill you, and you had to be the guy that knew how to tame it. That was the point of being a race car driver, was not just to get around the track, but to be able to tame your car on the edge to 10/10ths.
That's fair, but, you know, it's all about Mark Donohue, a very successful driver back in the 70s and 80s. His whole thing was about, like, the unfair advantage. So you've got to figure out, you know, how to be faster than everybody else. And if you can have a car that's easier to drive, puts the power down more smartly and more consistently than any human driver can do, you'll be faster. And I mean, you race because you want to win. You don't race to, like, practice and hone your skills.
Yeah.
That sort of comes naturally, but
But I feel like that opens the door where anybody can just be a driver then.
great. I mean, there's more to it than that. Like, you
But you
have
know
to
what I
have a
mean, though?
certain
Like,
skill
there's
set.
that, you know...
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if a company doing this should be able to come up with something that it's not just driving the car for the driver.
Yeah.
But it should be like, you know, we form the windshield this way to add just that much more slip, or
Well, I'm sure they did.
you know, something where I wish that there was like a little bit of play in like the horsepower range, or the tires that you can run, or the brakes, or something to have that. Kind of like they used to do back in the day, like people sneaking extra fuel in the roll cage, or, you know, fans out the back
Such
for
a good
added
idea.
like downforce. Like, that's innovation to me. That's cool. Like, that's thinking outside the box.
Yeah.
Not, we're going to put driver aids and now you're driving a Tesla.
Well,
on the
it's
track.
not necessarily... Yeah, I get
it
what you're
is.
saying.
Realistically.
Yeah, I suppose.
If you go around a corner too
computers to
fast, the
dial
car's
in
like,
the
oh,
boost
you're
and
going too
hybrid.
fast. I will do this for you. No, you should eat the wall. And then you'd be like, well, I took that corner too fast. Now I need to remember, I have to come in at this angle on that corner.
Yeah.
I have to change up my driving style.
I think you could still crash the 919. Like,
Well, you can, but
I mean, I'd
it'll
probably
probably
be
be
the
more
first person to do
fatal
that.
now.
Huh?
It'll be more fatal because it's going to take more to crash it.
Yeah, I guess.
You know?
I don't know. I mean, I think you look at, like, F1, for instance, and that doesn't have a lot of computers to, like, control it. I mean, it has a lot of computers, but not to the point of, like, dialing in traction control, because they don't have traction control or anything like that. And, you know, even the current crop of F1 drivers say that the cars are just so easy to drive.
Yeah, which that's not good to me. It
I
should
don't
scare
know.
you.
I mean, if it's easy to drive, that means that they can
We don't
put
have
more
Widowmakers
brain power
anymore.
towards making really stupid decisions.
We need Widowmakers.
I don't want to see drivers die.
I don't want to see drivers
makes me
die
sad.
either, but it adds an element to the race.
Yeah.
It makes the driver that's getting paid millions of dollars actually worth millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Not
I mean,
just
I guess
some fancy guy sitting there with all of his money that's like, I'm a great driver. No, the car drove it yourself.
I mean, I guess the last time a driver died in F1 was Jules Bianchi, and he crashed and died during a safety car period. They were following the safety car, and it was in the rain,
See?
and he crashed.
So
and
it
died.
can happen at any time then.
Yeah, so I think the cars are fine,
If
even if they're easy to drive.
If drivers are saying they're too easy, I don't think they're good enough to drive.
Yeah, I don't know. The drivers are really just there to be
That's
like
why
walking.
like grassroots is still fun.
Grassroots is definitely fun.
You know?
Yeah,
You just have good driving.
yeah. Everyone can hop in like a Neon or a, you know,
Whoa,
E30
whoa.
or Miata, or, you know, take your pick. In fairness, I've seen some really fast Neons out there.
Yeah, that's fine.
in
There's a Neon
action.
that lives on the street close to us that says Turbo RT on the
Nice.
license plate, and it's an old neon
Yeah.
RT.
That's cool.
That's got a half cage in the back. You can see it. It's
Sweet.
It has to autocross it.
Yeah.
It's very cool. It's white.
They made
with
an
the blue
ACR
stripes.
version, which is pretty cool, and you could get one. You could buy it to match your Viper ACR.
Does that make sense?
Uh-oh.
Oh, we're good.
Oh, screen went dark
Select
for a
our
second there.
Screen there.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But I mean, yeah, other than that, it was a good time. Florida's always awesome.
Yeah.
So
Sebring's one of those tracks I've always wanted to like actually race at, and there's been a few opportunities through like Champ Car now, World Racing League or some of those kind of series. It'd be really fun to get down there and just get in a shitty car and just go slam it for a while.
I got to go around the track in a hot lab.
That's cool. What were you
The
in?
first year we went down, a Miata.
Okay. Nice.
So that guy chucked it around every corner.
I bet.
And it was just floated. It was nice because you could actually feel the car find its balance.
Okay.
So you'd put it in the corner and you'd feel the ass end come out a little bit, and then you'd feel the car turn all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And it's like that's its sweet spot, and it just would stick, and you'd go around the corner.
Yeah.
It was the slowest car out of the group of cars that you could hot lap in,
Yeah.
but it was still a lot of fun.
Nice.
So
Off
Plus
chance
it
my
was
drift
cool to
game on
be,
point with my Miata, so I can slide around all the potholes.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's gonna be 70 on Wednesday.
Good. I'm gonna take the Miata out.
Better be out.
I'm gonna be really careful not to actually sink it in a pothole.
We're gonna take the R's out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good.
So
Double trouble.
maybe we'll have to meet up or something.
Sure. Sounds good.
Might need a cruise.
I'm game.
So if we
Yeah.
don't do trivia. But
Okay.
Anyway, side note. Sorry.
Okay.
We're on a podcast.
Yeah. We're off topic now. Huh. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was fun. I'm
Cool.
looking forward to going next year.
Nice.
I think it'd be fun to do the Daytona.
Yeah.
I think
24
that'd
hours
be
Daytona
cool.
would be really fun. I really want to get to Le Mans at some point. That's bucket list for me.
There's actually a guy giving away tickets for Le Mans over my birthday weekend.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Well,
And we didn't take them.
why?
I don't know.
What's wrong with you?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
That seems like a
But
mistake.
that's definitely a bucket list.
Yeah.
Le Mans, a WRC race.
Yeah.
Which WRC race would you choose?
I wish
'Cause
I
that's
followed
what
the
it comes down
calendar
to.
closely enough to know what they all are at this point.
Well, from like say
But-
Monte Carlo, Sweden.
I
what
think
the-
like the Ireland one would be really cool.
Yeah.
I think they still run in Ireland. Sweden
so.
would be all right. That's a. I
It
feel like the
depends
cars
if you
don't
want
go fast
snow or
enough.
dirt.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, or a little bit of tarmac, here and
tarmac.
there.
Yeah.
Mexico's probably an easy one to get to. I almost went to that one year. My dad and we almost went down there for the Mexico
That'd be cool.
WRC race.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I forget why we didn't, but
Mexico.
yeah, middle of nowhere Mexico.
I think I'd want to do Monte Carlo.
Yeah, Baja would be another fun. It's not a rally, but like the Baja,
the Baja
1000 would be really cool to see.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all these bucket list races.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them. I want to watch. I want to do some like DTM. I need to go to a DTM race
That'd be
before
fun.
they stop
Yeah.
racing DTM cars, or just some like good old touring car championship racing or something that's just.
I wish I could go back in time to watch like the British touring cars and all that
Yes,
stuff. Like
that would be
the
amazing.
those Volvo wagons from the 90s.
See the Volvos out there,
so cool.
and the old Alfa Romeos,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
all
those
the
are
very
164s
cool
or whatever.
actually cars with the wide body kits that are just like
Hell yeah.
half an inch off the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, or the
Oh,
Opel. The Opel Vectra was always cool.
Yep. Yeah, I remember those from Gran Turismo.
I had an RC of the Opel Vectra.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah, it was very badass.
Oh man.
I enjoyed it.
Man, I feel like vintage racing is definitely more interesting to watch than a lot of the modern stuff. There's a handful like WEC I think is really really interesting just because the level of sophistication in the cars is so high. Like
Yeah.
they're at or above I think F1 in a couple of areas, but like vintage rally, vintage race cars just in general are just so cool to me.
Well, it's more exciting.
Yeah, I think so.
There's just more going on.
Well, and like the sponsorships were a lot more interesting back then, and like the cars were all wild colors, and
Yeah.
like I don't know, maybe watching racing back in the 70s, 80s, or even before that, I don't know, maybe it wasn't as interesting
I
because
think it
those were like the fastest cars at the time, and that
Yeah.
it just because that's the current stuff.
But you talk to people from back then, and they're like, "No, racing was really that badass."
Yeah,
Like they have never been like, "Oh, racing was so boring."
yeah,
No, racing was badass, and now it's boring because
That's
it's
fair.
too simplified.
yeah. Like F1 back
There's
in
too many
the
rules.
the 90s or whatever with turbo era, where cars that were like 1,200 horsepower
Man,
out of a
so
little
amazing.
4-cylinder.
That's
Bananas.
so badass.
They'd usually blow up instead of finishing the race, but
Still cool.
yeah.
And now you can't even draft someone because your car will overheat. Which is kind of cool because there's so much downforce that it creates a void of air.
Yeah.
I think that's a neat thing.
It is.
But, I don't know. The halos, I think, are ugly.
They look like flip-flops.
They do.
All the cars look like flip-flops now.
It looks like a flip-flop going around the thing.
But, there's a lot of really young talent coming into F1 now, which is kind of cool.
Oh, that's good.
I mean...
Rich young talent?
Yeah, I think that helps. Yeah. But I think some people that have actually, like, worked their way up through the ranks.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, it's like the youngest field of F1 drivers in the history of the sport, I think.
Huh.
Like, I was watching that Netflix F1 documentary, Drive to Survive, and they were saying, it's like, I don't know, 8 or 12 or I don't know, somewhere between 8 and 12, like basically half the drivers are under 25 right now.
Jeepers.
Which is, yeah.
I mean, I suppose
A lot of
have
fresh
to
blood.
be. I don't think that guys race into their old age like they used to.
Well, look at Kimi. He's like Kimi Räikkönen. He's like, what, damn near 40?
Yeah.
If Alonso was almost 40. He quit because Alonso quit because he was basically the best driver, but he always had the worst car.
Yeah.
And Kimi, he moved to Williams now, I think, but or Sauber, I forget, Sauber, I think. And so he doesn't have the best car anymore, but he doesn't care. He's still getting those paychecks.
He's
and now
out
he
there
doesn't have
doing
as much media stuff he has to go to, so he gets to drink more.
That's true.
So,
did you watch the video of that girl that crashed?
The Macau Grand Prix or whatever, not the
Yeah.
F1 race, but that other, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That
Where
is
170 miles an hour into a wall
yeah.
backwards.
Wait. Is that this? The one where she's coming down that.
Yeah, you're
straight,
watching the video.
Yeah, she hit the wall
and you just see a car go.
Yeah.
Through the screen.
Yeah. That was
insane.
terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it made my stomach hurt.
Yeah. Well, it's nuts to so that's like a weird. That race weekend is really weird because there's like a whole bunch of different series that all race, throughout the weekend. They're all shorter races. Mm-hmm. And that whole circuit is just so narrow and so...
Oh, yeah.
There's no runoff anywhere. Mm-hmm. And so, there's always huge crashes and, someone dies every year at that rate, during that race weekend.
I think they said that, either her brakes failed or they locked up at a point where she didn't have control of it and she just basically bounced off of someone.
Yeah.
And then went airborne and hit somebody else.
Yeah, I think she locked up,
airborne.
Bounced, tapped a wall and then bounced into another car and just went airborne into the...
It was just insane.
It's into that announcer stand or whatever.
Yeah, it went over the barrier.
Yeah.
And
then the car fell on someone.
Yeah.
And I mean, she's so lucky to be alive. I think she's back to racing now. She just hopped back in the car in the last week or two. Which is amazing.
Yeah, she went right to the hospital and had surgery immediately.
Yeah, good for her.
Well,
not good for her that happened, but good for her that she's back.
And I think it probably helped how she hit the wall.
Probably.
Because the way the car looked, she hit basically sitting. Mm-hmm. So realistically, there wasn't. I think she was probably already in that shape.
Yeah.
Where if it was head on, there might have been more jarring effect going forward.
Yeah, could have been.
But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and you look at the big crashes in F1 and stuff. I think Alonso had a crash. Was it 2 years ago in Australia, the first race of the year? And I think he was out for a couple of races afterwards, but he walked away from it. It was like a 170 mile an hour crash.
Yeah.
After the long straight, I forget what happened. I think he locked up a brake and.
I always thought it was so crazy watching those cars crash, and you see them hit something, and when it's all said and done, here's this little cage, and you see the driver just sitting there feet are still on the pedals, and it's just this little micro cage sitting there that's skirting down the track.
They're so squished in there and so perfectly held in place because there's nowhere for them to go. Mm-hmm. So that I mean that's what protects them, I guess.
That's just would be crazy to just hit something, go through this time warp of stuff, and then you look around and you're oh, my car's gone.
What the hell
Everything
happened?
is gone.
All my wheels are off.
Where did everything go?
Upside down. Yeah, I mean, really, the biggest safety hazard with racing now is if you crash, you got to watch out for fire because most of the time, I mean, a big impact isn't going to kill you.
Ricky Bobby.
Exactly. I mean, the thing that when I mentioned Jules Bianchi earlier, who died couple of years ago. That was Suzuka, I think. The China or the Japanese Grand Prix. It was super rainy, and he just they had the safety car out because there was another car that got beached in the gravel, and they had a cherry picker thing picking it up.
If you're on safety car, you're not going that fast.
No, but he hit a wet spot somehow. I don't know if he was like trying to warm up the tires or something, but anyway, he just went sailing off and crashed into the back of the crane.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
So
and
he
it
probably
basically
like went under it then.
Yeah, the car went under it, and his head was the exposed
So he was
part.
decapitated.
Yeah. Well,
basically.
Yeah, it sounded like he had some pretty severe head trauma that eventually he's in a coma for a week or two and then passed, which is just so sad. But
that's unfortunate.
That was kind of the last big death in F1 that I can remember, at least. But anyway,
that's crazy.
That's on that dark note.
Yeah, that's race. That was race weekend.
Yeah,
it was good. The Super Sebring was pretty killer. So
yeah,
they're doing it again next year.
Oh, okay, good.
They got 2 years signed on, so next year's also the Super Sebring.
Awesome.
So
did it seem, because you went last year too, right, for Sebring?
Yep, this is the 3rd year I've gone.
3rd year, okay. Did this year feel a lot busier than?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So much to see.
They said that they sold 40% more tickets.
Okay, nice.
And they had over 200,000 people there this year.
Jeez.
So
well, I have a bunch of friends that are photographers that were down there for that, and just it's so much work. I mean,
yeah.
Can you think about like a 24-hour race, and you're on your feet, 30 plus hours. But for this, I mean, you want to get pictures up, edited, uploaded, and whatever to whoever you're working for, like ASAP. So you work, all the practice stuff, qualifying, all that stuff you're shooting, constantly on your feet, walking around.
Yeah.
And then you shoot, the WC race, and that's, 6-8 hours, something like that. And then you stay up all night editing photos to get those off to clients.
Yeah.
And then you start it all over and do, another 20-hour day, basically. Yeah. Just bananas.
See, the trick is, and some guys have it and some guys don't. You can see a lot of guys walking. They use the photo shuttle going around. A lot of guys have, not a lot of guys, I guess I should, some guys have either a moped or a golf cart. And that's where it's at.
Yeah.
Those guys were chill because they had a shade with their golf cart, which is perfect on a hot day.
Yeah.
But then you could get around the track quicker.
Yeah.
It's
still, it's a lot though. You're lugging around all that camera gear and...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw one guy fall one year.
Oh, really?
He was standing on this... It was like a little prop that's, they put down in like a crate and some stuff so you could get up to the vantage point. And he was stepping backwards and his foot got caught on a cable.
Oh,
and
shit.
he went down and rolled, but he had his camera bag and his camera was out. Ooh. And he saved the camera. Yeah. He that was, you could tell that was his main protection.
You sacrificed yourself in that situation.
Up in the air, making sure that didn't hit the ground. And he rolled out of it. You could tell his ankle hurt. He was a bigger guy. And that sucks.
That sucks. Yeah.
Not a fun time, and it was 90 degrees. So
right.
Here you are on the middle of a track, 90 degrees, your ankle hurts, and you still have to shoot more photos.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if they've changed the rules since, but when I was down there back in 2011 for the race, I was shooting it. I was on assignment shooting it, and you had to wear a fire suit if you wanted to get into the pits.
Mm.
So I ended up wearing I had a fire suit because I was racing at the time. Not there, but I mean, I was doing some amateur racing at the time, so I had my own fire suit already, but I ended up just wearing that the entire weekend, and it was...
That'd be hot.
It was really, really hot. It sucked. It really sucked. Well, and then to get over the pit wall, on a pit lane, you had to have a helmet, and I think some people just had bike helmets. That was my first time shooting with that kind of credentials, so I didn't bring a helmet with. Yeah. But I could still hang out in the pit boxes and shoot over the wall like that. I just couldn't go in the actual pit lane.
Yeah, it looked like that they still have to have a fire suit and then a helmet on for that main stuff.
It gets so hot down there when you're wearing that.
Yeah. Yeah, it was crazy because you could really see the pits wall with the WEC cars because it's on the back straight, and you can sit right across from that, so you can watch all the pitting happening.
Because that section, no one really goes back there usually, but I suppose if there's
that's a great place to sit.
I guess I never thought it was a particularly interesting place to watch the race from, but
it's good on the end of the turn because they're coming in really fast. Sure. So at night you get a lot of good brake heat and all that kind of stuff happening.
Sure.
And then in the I don't know what corner it is. I can't remember the corner numbers, but at the top of the corner, you can kind of see him weave through and then come around that really hard.
Okay.
And you can kind of really see who knows the line and who doesn't know the line.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's one of the Toyotas pulled into the pits, and the Toyota spot was way at the end, and there's a photographer way down here, and the Toyota drove by, and he was just hustling, like,
oh my God,
running after the car just to shoot some pictures, and got up there and like took some pictures, and off the car went. And he just turned around, he's like, all right, next, like, run back up this way.
God.
And he's just spending his time just like running back and forth, shooting cars in the pits.
Yeah, get that dude a scooter.
It's just insane.
Oh man.
So, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it was
Sounds
fun.
like a good time.
Yeah. So yeah, that's Sebring.
Cool.
Yep.
Yeah. I guess one last thing before we sign off.
How long has it been?
I don't know. Oh, 35 minutes. How about
perfect.
that?
That's good.
Yeah, so last Thursday, I had the chance to drive.
Tell me about this Bentley.
Yeah, so last Thursday, courtesy of Bentley Minneapolis at Moore's Luxury Auto, I had a chance to borrow a $403,000 Bentley Mulsanne Speed. And it was painted a lovely shade called Black Velvet, which is like this really dark, it looks black in the shade, but as soon as you get some light on it, there's like purple metallic flake in there that just pops, and it looks, it's so gorgeous. It's such a cool car. It's got these big, I think they're 20 or 21 inch wheels on 21 inch.
I think they're 21 inch.
Yeah. Massive brake rotors. Thing's just a beast. All the trim's blacked out on it.
Does the Speed have the biggest brakes as well in the industries? Because I know the new Continental GT has the biggest steel brakes you can get on a factory car.
I think they're probably a little bit smaller than on the new Continental GT.
Because it's not as modern.
I mean,
it's not
exactly.
Up to whatever.
But that car deserves the biggest brakes in the world because it is a tank. The thing is a brick shithouse. It's massive.
Yeah.
And I forget the exact specs. I want to say it's like 580 horsepower and like 840 foot-pounds of torque or something.
Jesus.
The red line is 4,500 RPM. So, I mean,
just
from the stats, you would very much think it's a diesel, but it's really not. It's this ancient 6 3/4 liter.
Yeah.
Twin turbo V8.
All torque the minute it starts.
Oh yeah. Surprisingly though, tons of turbo lag. But I mean, yeah. What do you expect? Doesn't make much noise either, but it's so insulated.
Well, it's not supposed to.
Right, yeah.
It's a Bentley.
Yeah. But yeah, it is cool. The rear seat is definitely the place to be. There's a little fold down armrest. And you can press a button that controls what the front passenger seat does. You could scoot that up.
Oh, so you have more room for you.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and then the back of the front passenger seat is covered in quilted leather, padded quilted leather, so you could fold that down and have a nice place to rest your feet.
How nice.
And then there's pillows on the headrest, and then there's another leather lined pillow for your lumbar support back there, and heated massage, all that good stuff in the back seat.
I like the adjustment for the passenger seat from the back, because you can now be that asshole and be like, oh, you're too far back,
right?
You move them forward, not try and get them to move forward for you.
I was kind of surprised.
Never-ending battle.
Yeah. So yeah, you wouldn't want to sit behind the driver. But, I mean, because I was kind of surprised there wasn't more legroom back there. I mean, with the seat scooted up, obviously you've got plenty, but yeah, if you're sitting behind like a 6-foot whatever driver, there's I mean, look, you're not hurting for legroom, but I would have expected a little bit more. You would have
expected something that it's kind of like a small house back there.
Yeah, exactly. Like my favorite rocking chair or whatever.
Can you recline the seats with the seats back still? Is there enough room to actually kind of put them down?
Yeah, the seats do recline back there. Which is
that would suck to be the other passenger on the other side. Be like, well, I can't recline like you're reclining.
Right, yeah. And I don't think it doesn't recline a ton, but there's a little bit of, rake on it.
Slides out.
Yeah.
I think.
But yeah, so I took that out for a photo shoot. And got lots of cool pictures. And
that's cool.
Yeah, it was cool. It was like that really pretty purple color, and then inside, black, silver stitching. And then there's some like silver... like metallic silver leather in a couple of like strategic spots, which is kind of cool. And then the carbon fiber trim was really cool. It was like this triangular weave, so it made these really like triangular patterns. I'm not doing it. This is not like I don't know how to show a triangle with one hand. Yeah, but it made little triangles, and at the points of each of the triangles was like a little silver dot within that, like woven into the material, is really, really cool. I've never seen carbon fiber like that before.
Yeah. They can do some amazing things with carbon fiber now.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Especially if it doesn't need to be structural.
Yeah. Yeah. If it's just,
Because
like
if
the
it's
chopped
trim,
carbon.
you don't need to really worry about it being structural.
Yeah. Like that like the chopped carbon fiber that they're using in interiors now, or I think Lamborghini's using that like forged carbon or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's pretty cool stuff.
For their wing though.
Yeah.
Which does have a lot of downforce.
Yeah, it's not, I don't know if I'd quite call that structural. Like it's not like a stressed member or anything. But then again, most carbon fiber bits in cars aren't anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
Unless it's like the monocoque, like, Yeah.
Yeah. Plus it all depends on how you hit it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the thing about carbon fiber is like, depending on the weave and how it's, bonded to other pieces of carbon fiber, it's very directional in terms of what it can, what forces it can take and remain in one piece.
Yeah.
But, so that was fun.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That sounds really cool. Is it going to be there? Is the car still there, or is it just?
Yeah. I don't think there's people like rushing in to buy it because it costs as much as like a pretty expensive house.
Yeah.
And it's purple.
Yeah. I mean,
which I think is a great color, but it might take a while to find a specific buyer.
Yeah, that's true. Be kind of fun. I'm gonna
they brought that up to the Twin Cities Auto Show.
Take a look at it.
Yeah, you should definitely go check it out.
So, be cool to see in person. The pictures look awesome.
Thanks.
Obviously.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's
that color. I'm sure is one of those colors that you have to see it in.
It really is. Yeah, I mean, I wish I could say pictures do it justice. I know it's cliche to say that pictures don't do it justice. It doesn't. I don't know. It's really hard to capture the purple.
Yeah, it seemed to photograph well though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a good color where
it's a subtle
purple
enough
in the
purple.
right spots, and then
Exactly.
it was like shading for you, basically. Like,
yeah, it's cool because
it's
the
like
purple
a live
just picks up
cartoon,
along the body
basically.
lines, basically.
Yeah,
it's kind of neat.
Yeah,
so.
that's always cool.
Yeah,
nice.
So it's fun.
Awesome.
Well,
do we have anything else?
I don't.
I don't think so.
Might as well end it there.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Well,
thanks for listening, watching.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
So this is episode 1.
Yeah.
With many more to come, I guess.
Yeah.
Right?
Let's hope so.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Signing off.
All right. Peace.